Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. From Putri to present about the assignment 2 on project 1, design and development of a computer room building for SMK Pagoh. First and foremost, I will introduce my group members. Me is Tuan Muhammad Sharif bin Wafah, Muhammad Ali Fikri bin Abdul Kahar, Muhammad Amir Ikhwan bin Azmi, Ahmad Nakib bin Roslan, and Muhammad Iqbal bin Ahmed. For the project introduction, the project aims to facilitate the establishment of a dedicated computer room building for SMK Pagoh. The primary objective is to have a fully functional computer system available for the students by January 2024. This system will support their educational needs and enhance their learning experience. The computer room building will be a separate structure covering an area of approximately 4,000 square feet. It will be equipped with 30 computer workstation for the student and 1 workstation for the teacher. As a part of the software requirement, the installation of Microsoft Office 365 is planned to provide essential productivity tool to the student. So the project organization, we have 5 organization department. The first one is project manager, is me, Tuan Malaysia Tuan. Second is architect, Muhammad Amir Ikhwan. Muhammad Amir Ikhwan. Next is IT specialist, Muhammad Arif Fikri. Construction team, Muhammad Nakib. And the last one is procurement officer, is Muhammad Iqbal bin Abdul.
So my name is Muhammad Iqbal. So moving on to statement of work, there are 7 statements. First one is designing the computer room building. Second one is obtaining necessary approvals and permits. Procuring computer workstations and software. Setting up computer workstations. Installing Microsoft Office 365 software. Constructing the computer room building. And last one is testing and ensuring functionality. For the designing the computer room building, the architect will create architectural plans and drawings that comply with the provided specifications and requirements. And the design will include considerations for space optimization, ergonomic workstation layout, and appropriate lighting, ventilation, and accessibility. The architect will also collaborate with the project team and SMK Pagoh to ensure the design meets all necessary criteria and align with the educational objectives. For obtaining necessary approvals and permits, it is to ensure compliance with local regulation and involves obtaining the necessary approvals and permits for the construction of the computer room building. And then the project team will coordinate with relevant authorities to obtain building permits, electrical permits, and any other permits that is required by the local jurisdiction. And the procurement officer may be responsible for handling the necessary documentation, which is me myself, and liaising with the appropriate regulatory bodies. So for procuring computer workstations and software, it involves procuring 30 computers workstations for students and 1 workstation for the teacher. So the procurement officer will identify suitable vendors, obtain quotation, evaluate proposals, and select the most appropriate equipment based on quality, functionality, and cost. So the procurement process will adhere to SMK Pagoh's procurement policies and procedure.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my name is Muhammad Amir Goim Azmi, and I will present the statement of work. Uh, so the next statement of work is setting up computer workstation. So this include installing the hardware components, connecting the workstation to the network, and ensuring they are in proper working order. And the workstation will be arranged in an ergonomic manner with appropriate seating and workspace for each student. And the IT specialists will also ensure that workstations are equipped with the necessary peripherals such as keyboard, mouse, and monitors. So next, installing Microsoft Office 365 software. So this will provide the student and the teacher with access to essential productivity tools such as Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook. And the software installation will be performed according to license requirement and guidelines provided by Microsoft. The IT specialist will ensure that the software is properly configured, activated, and updated on a regular basis. So, constructing the computer room building. The construction team will execute the construction of the computer room building based on the approved architectural plans. This task includes site preparation, foundation construction, erecting the building structure, installing walls, doors, and windows, and completing finishing touches such as painting and flooring. And the construction team will work in compliance with building codes, safety regulation, and quality standard to ensure the successful completion of the computer room building. And the last one, testing and ensuring functionality. After the construction and setup of the computer room building, the project team will conduct through testing to ensure the functionality of the computer system. This include testing the connectivity of the workstation to the network, verifying the software installation, and ensuring that all hardware components are working properly. The testing phase will involve checking the performance and reliability of the computer system to identify and address any issues or glitches.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad. So I'm going to explain our group project schedule. For the first phase is the project initiation, where it only took 1 week. During this phase, the project team will define the project objective, identify stakeholder, and form the project team. For the second phase is to design and approval. So for this phase, it took for almost 4 weeks, where this task involved the architect creating the architectural plans for the computer room building and obtaining the necessary approval permit. And the next phase is the procurement, which is took only 2 weeks. Where the procurement officer will identify the required equipment and materials and obtain quotation and procedure the computer workstation and software license. For the next phase is the most important phase, which is the construction, where it took for almost 13 weeks, where the construction team will execute all the physical construction of the computer room building, including site preparation, foundation construction, and all the installation. For the next part is installation and configuration, where it took only 2 weeks. The IT specialist will set up the computer workstation, install all the Microsoft Office, all the software, and ensure the proper configuration of the computer system. And the next part is for the testing and training, which only took 2 weeks, where this phase involved testing the functionality of the computer system, identifying any issues, and providing training to teachers and students on its usage. For the last phase is the project closure, which is took 4 weeks, which the project closure phase include obtaining sign-off from stakeholder, finalizing documentation, and officially handing over the computer room to SMK Pagoh. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Hazfikri bin Abdul Kahar. My metric number is CN200197. So I will present about the budget schedule for the last slide. So the first category for the budget schedule is about construction. The cost of constructing a building can be vary significantly based on location, materials, and design. So assuming an average cost around 200 ringgit per square foot, the estimated cost for a 4,000 square foot for a computer laboratory will be around 800,000 ringgit. Second category is computer workstation. The cost of computer workstation can be vary depending on the specification and brands that we choose. The client choose is assuming on a mid-range configuration, including a CPU, monitor, keyboard, and a mouse. The average cost per workstation will be around 1,200 ringgit. So for a 30 student workstation and 1 teacher workstation, the estimated cost will be around 36,000 ringgit. So for the third category is about software license. So the client choose Microsoft Office 365. That is typically licensed on a subscription basis with pricing per user per month. Assuming an average cost of 10 ringgit per use per month, the estimated annual cost for 31 license, 30 students, including 1 teacher license, will be around 3,000 ringgit and 720 ringgit. So the fourth category is about electrical infrastructure. The cost of electrical infrastructure can depend on the building existing setup and the requirement. It may include wiring, power outlets, circuit breakers, and backup power system. So assuming an average cost of around 20,000 ringgit for electrical infrastructure setup, this will cover installation and related expense. Fifth is training and support. So for the training and support, the budget is around 20,000 ringgit. And last is miscellaneous. So the miscellaneous costs can include items such as furniture, network equipment, cabling, installation service. As the specific requirement may vary, it is the best to allocate a budget of around 10% to 15% of the total estimated cost for miscellaneous expenses. In this case, considering an estimated cost of around 100,000 ringgit for miscellaneous expense would be reasonable. So summing of the estimated cost for the construction, computer workstation, software license, and electrical infrastructure, training and support, and lastly miscellaneous would be around 979,000 and 720 ringgit. So that's all from us. Thank you.